Sydenham, New South Wales. Located in Sydney's inner west and sitting just 8 kilometres outside of the CBD, we enter what is known as Darkside MMA. The gym is owned and operated by Uro Pavi, a former professional MMA fighter who has competed in such top-level promotions as the now-defunct CFC. It's here that Uro teaches his students the arts of boxing, Muay Thai, MMA and submission grappling.
Darkside MMA started, believe it or not, in my backyard. So we started it some 15 years ago. There was a lot of gyms where we went to and a lot of schools where we would just borrow the mats and sort of roll in there. So I set up my backyard where I had heavy bags, we had somewhere to roll, I had a ring, we had weights, and then people started showing up. And before I knew it, people paid me $10.
Uro, now retired from fighting, dedicates his time to the students and works on getting them to a point that he believes is ready to compete.
Knowing when somebody's ready to compete, it just varies on the individual. I think the ability for them to be able to defend themselves in the ring, so I know that they won't get hurt, seeing that they've put in the hours and the effort in training, seeing that they're mentally focused and ready, seeing that there's no outside distractions from the gym that'll cause them to want to fight.
After training with the boys daily, Uro identifies the students who not only have the skill, but the heart and mindset to succeed on a main stage.
I think the number one thing for somebody walking through the gym doors, and for me knowing when they're ready to take the next step, is for them to show a level of improvement and a level of ability to defend themselves inside a ring. I mean, we're not talking about self-defense here. It's not about just learning how to throw a few punches and learning how to block. It's about confronting somebody else who's a trained athlete and then having to compete with each other, not to survive, but to win.
Forward. Back.
With 2 major promotion cards coming up, big opportunities await and 2 men from the gym put their hands up to fight. Andrew Knight and Peter Giorgio. Andy, the 29-year-old from Marrickville, has a little less time before his fight than Pete, but after training for as long as he has, he feels he's ready.
Originally, I had no interest in the combat sport side of things. I guess I didn't really know too much about it, and I just started training for fitness, and then the more you learn, the more you want to learn, and I really got into it after that point. Didn't think anything competitive of it, just wanted to get better and better, and the more you get into it, you actually want to test yourself, you want to test your skills, and the only way to do that is to jump in and have a go. Nearly there.
Normally, Andy walks around at a comfortable 83 kilos, but to compete, he needs to drop any excess weight and get down to just 68 kilos. The weight cut is something that a lot of fighters struggle to deal with.
Weight cutting for this fight was good. I had plenty of notice, which I didn't have for the last fight, which was good. I had a lot of weight to lose, and over the time, 7 to 8 weeks, I was able to lose it. I was able to do it slowly. I was able to plateau at a certain weight, get used to that weight. Whereas the fight before was very short notice, a lot of weight, a lot of stress, a lot of not eating, not drinking, which didn't help. Did what I had to, eat clean, train hard, and the weight came off.
The most common question Andy is asked revolves around the week leading up to the fight, and more importantly, the night before his big match.
I absolutely love fight week. All the training is done, most of the coaching is done. This is just my time to relax, think about the fight, finish losing whatever weight I need to lose, and just really focus on me. All the hard stuff's done, the sparring's done, all the bruises have healed. Fight week is a nice, relaxing week. And night before the fight, people ask me this a lot about how I sleep, am I nervous? I sleep great. I've already weighed in, I've started to eat again, so everything's going through my body. All the hard work is done. So after that, it's out of my control. And yeah, so the night before, I sleep, no trouble.
Another top student at the gym is Peter Giorgio. The 24-year-old who grew up in Elwood got into the fight game at the age of 14 and soon after had his first amateur fight.
My first ever fight was an amateur kickboxing bout. I was 15 years old. It was at a Steve Jez promotion in Liverpool at his old gym in Speed Street. I fought a kid named Aaron Ryan and I knocked him out in the second round. Couldn't wait to get in again.
In 2010, Pete went professional. In his first pro boxing match, he took on a fighter from a rival gym and he won the fight decisively, but then came a 4-year break in between bouts.
When I started kickboxing, where I lived in Elwood, there was no boxing gyms or really boxing around, so the closest thing was in the Canberra at a kickboxing gym. My mum used to drop me off at training 3 times a week, so I'd always had an interest for boxing. So when I turned 17, I got my Ps and started driving into the city. Started boxing at Uro Police Boys Club. And yeah, I was hooked on boxing, loved it.
While concentrating on their own training for the fights, Pete and Andy are also the gym's main boxing coaches. While helping Uro out with all of the other tasks involved in keeping the gym running, Andy also spends 3 days a week working at a local sports store.
I've been coaching at Darkside MMA for 4 years now. I do get asked quite a bit, can I differentiate between coaching and my own training? I think I used to use that as an excuse to not train, that I was focusing too much on the coaching aspect. But what I've done is I've refocused and I've learned to differentiate the two. So when I am coaching someone, I'm focusing on them. Everything is on them. So everyone here does something wrong a little different and they do something right a little different. So when I'm coaching, that's my focus. As soon as the class is over and it's my training, it's time to switch that focus to myself. I know what I do right, I know what I do wrong, so I need to then coach myself.
I've been coaching at Darkside for 2 years now. I found it's improved my game dramatically because I can look at things differently. I can see where people are lacking and it just helps me pick up on things. Even teaching, I'm learning by teaching. I learn every day something. I find it's either you're coaching or you're training. You can't be in the middle. So it's either you're fully focused on yourself or you're fully focused on your students and people you're helping. I know when I'm coaching, I'm here to coach. When I'm here to train, I'm here to train.
In what is only his 4th match since going professional, Pete is on the verge of competing for a state title. Again, he is in a similar boat to Andy in that his usual weight sits at around 84 kilos, but to fight he needs to cut down to just 78.
Cutting weight, it's as hard as you perceive it in your mind. If you put in your mind that this is your job at hand, you make the weight. You follow the rules, you eat right, you do what you have to do, you'll make weight. You'll do what you have to do to get there. If you're not focused on it, you're not going to make it. But if you want to do something and you work hard enough, you'll make it. Cutting weight for this fight, it's a bit easier because I fought not that long ago, so I didn't put as much weight back on. I just try to stay at a healthy weight. I still have to lose weight, but it'll happen. I like to do it slowly, then a whole big amount in one go. My body feels better, I can train better instead of stressing my body out, doing it all at the end. So it's always hard, but it gets done.
Just 6 days out from his fight, Andy's opponent pulls out due to injury. He now takes on a new opponent on short notice. The fight is a K1 kickboxing bout, with the winner being crowned the New South Wales WKBF Amateur Champion. With a lot of success in his previous kickboxing bouts, the striker takes it all in his stride and continues his fight week preparations.
This fight was meant to be a rematch with my last opponent, which I lost a split decision to, so it was a little bit of payback. I only found out last week that opponent has pulled out. These things happen at this level. The fact I have a new opponent hasn't really changed anything, hasn't changed my training. I'm going into the unknown a little bit, which it's all part of it. It doesn't matter who it is, just do what I have to do, it's my job. My preparation for this fight, really excellent. I knew I had plenty of time, plenty of notice. I had 8-9 weeks, I think it was. So I knew how much weight I had to cut, the training regime I had to follow, and at what week I needed to be at what weight. The fact that this fight is for the state title hasn't really changed my training at all. It's just remotivated me. It's given me that extra oomph in the training that I needed, and I just can't wait to get in there and just have a crack.
It's the afternoon before Andy's fight. He and two other boys competing travel to the venue for a pre-fight weigh-in. Their nerves are high as they're about to find out if their hard work has paid off. After stepping onto the scales, all three of the fighters and their opponents successfully make weight and the fight's become official. In less than 24 hours, they'll be stepping into the ring to go at it. But for now, it's time for their post-weigh-in feed. The first fight of the night features the Frenchman Thibault. In his match, he takes his opponent all the way to the end, and after a tough fight and some confusion on the judges' scorecards, his opponent takes the bout. Next up is Jordan. In his first ever fight, he takes the centre of the ring and he keeps his nerves in check. After a tough 3 rounds, the judges give him the win by a unanimous decision. After the 2 other Darkside fights, it's now Andy's time. He gets a final prep talk from Uro and he enters the arena.
I leave it in the hands of the judges, alright? You understand, yes? Don't smile.
As the bell sounds, Andy shakes off any ring rust and pushes forward, pressuring his opponent the whole time. In round 1, they both come out swinging and are close on the judges' scorecards. In the second round, Andy is hit with a huge left hook from his opponent that leaves him rocked and fighting on pure instinct. With his gas tank on empty, he's hit with a front kick to the midsection and the referee calls an end to the match with 1 second left in the third round.
TKO stoppage. 1 minute 59 seconds in the third round. And new state WKBN champion.
It's not the finish Darkside was after, but they all know Andy will come back harder.
Wednesday nights, Wednesday fun nights. Wednesday, wacky Wednesdays.
It's a week after Andy's fight. Peter's back at the gym and is stepping up his training. Tonight is cardio and conditioning night. Telford, a fellow boxer, and the Slovakian wrestler Daniel Sadecky join him for 10 rounds of incline hill sprints.
Either way, someone's going to have to pull them back. That's what happens in this street.
With burning quads, the boys move up to the park and begin the next part of their routine. It's now time for 40 minutes of sled pulls and sled rushes. With 60 kilos of weight, Ty and Pete take turns with the sled on a 50-metre course. Daniel, however, prefers a little more of a challenge and not only pulls the 20-kilo sled, but has the 80-kilo Pete come along for the ride. After the boys each complete 200 metres of the sled pull, they move on to the 200 metres of the sled rush. Once again, Daniel chooses the hardest option. As night falls, the boys wrap up their session and manage to get in one last jog. Ty and Daniel then leave Pete to carry the two 20-kilo bells back to the gym, just in time for the evening's grappling class.
Pete, sorry, dude. Stay Pete. Yeah.
Some days just aren't good. There's no beauty I see.
10 days out from Pete's fight, Ty, the 16-year-old boxer from Dulwich Hill, prepares for his own boxing match. The amateur fight is a rematch with a past opponent who last time edged out a decision victory over the Darkside fighter. Tonight is his chance to avenge the loss.
All those feelings, but don't make that call because
Tonight, Andy and Pete both accompany him to the fight as his cornermen. Since Ty first started training at Darkside, these two have been right behind him.
I grew up in Melbourne. I moved to Sydney when I was about 13, and I found Darkside on the internet, and that was it. I came down, I walked through the doors and saw Uro, best guy, you know, and from there I've been here about 3.5 years, and best 3.5 years of my life, you know, learned so much, best people, yeah, that's it, pretty much.
So is it better if you win, yeah?
Oh, sorry, mate.
Being here about 2 years, I was getting to a stage of I needed to, you know, show my skills, and Uro came to me and we decided, you know, let's get some fights happening. So from there, my first fight was at South Sydney Juniors against actual Daniel Gill's kid. It was a good fight, you know. I thought I won that fight, but you know, stuff happens in this sport, and yeah, I came out with a loss, but I didn't change me. I came to train the next day, trained harder, and pretty much, you know, that's it.
Speed, 1, 2, 1, 2.
When I first came to this gym, I did everything, Muay Thai, MMA, wrestling for about 6 months, along with boxing, and kind of stopped everything and kept with boxing for a year and a half, 2 years, and then only recently I've been picking up more wrestling, you know, Muay Thai, just for that change, and just to be a better fighter and a better person, and yeah, so I mix it up a bit. Usually you can hear the bell ring, and you know that there's about 2 minutes before you're about to go out, and you're kind of a bit nervous, all this emotions running through, and you know, you're trying to stay calm, you're trying not to let that nervous energy take over you. You know, you climb up those stairs, you get through those ropes, and you get, you know, comfortable with your surroundings. For me, I do still stay nervous, but halfway through the first 30 seconds, you're fine. You're throwing punches, you're moving, you know, you're in your world. So that's what I live for, you know, that's it. When the bell rings at the end, you kind of feel satisfied in a way, no matter what the decision is, and you go and you shake the other person's hands, you're a bit excited no matter what.
Decision to the red corner.
You know, when they call your name and your hand is risen, it feels great, you know, you feel like you've succeeded in so many ways, you know, like all the training, all the hard work you put in for that fight, it's the best, you know, and you just feel like you want to just train harder. For me, that's how I feel. I just want to fight and just get better, you know. It's good. It's the best feeling.
Well, that fight was an absolute cracker. Back and forth. It was crazy, mad fight.
People may think it's a bit cheesy, a bit stupid, but I feel this is a destiny for me. You know, I feel like I was born for this, as well as probably Peter, Uro, as many we all have dreams, and this is mine, you know. And I dropped out of school, end of year 10, and this is all I want to do, you know. I'll do it. I'll train as hard as I can. I'll do anything for this. I want to go to America, Las Vegas, MGM Grand, you know, be one of the greats, go down as one of the greats of Australia. Pretty much this is it, you know. I'll give it all I got until the day I die. It doesn't matter.
The week of Pete's fight comes and the gym is abuzz with activity. The Thai guys spar and Uro rolls with Daniel in a one-on-one session. For this week, Pete slows down his training and concentrates on coaching and losing the last remaining kilos. Thursday afternoon comes around. Pete heads out to the weigh-in. It is here that he comes face to face with the man that he's fighting the very next night. Despite the fact that his opponent has had over 200 fights, and with the fight now closer than ever, he still manages to keep his calm. Fight night. The gym is empty as Pete makes his way in. All of the boys are on site ready for the event. When the boys get to their dressing room, it's now time for Uro to strap up Pete's hands.
Very experienced. I think he can handle this. So let's just take it from him, Pete. He's not going to give it out. Let's take it. beautiful. Thank you. Gorgeous.
When a show caller walks in, it's game time.
Victories as a professional boxer. From Darkside MMA, he hails out of Elwood, New South Wales, Australia. Introducing Giorgio. Seconds out, here we go, round one.
An elbow.
Weapons after 4 rounds, a split points decision. Kevin Hogan scored the contest 40-37 Rangers. Charlie Lucas scored the contest 37-39 Giorgio. Which scored the contest 40-37. Your winner by split points decision.
You know, it's funny. I think in life there is this concept of winning or losing. It seems out of touch with the real world. In life, we tend to lose way more than we win. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. So when somebody's competing and they come up short, as long as they've done everything possible and they've competed at as best as they can, the outcome is really irrelevant. You know, the outcome's really relevant because not everybody's going to be a Floyd Mayweather. You know, that's just not how it works. You know, these guys are, you know, just rare individuals, and even they have had lucky breaks where they could have come up short, and just one thing or another led to them that was out of their control. So at the end of the day, losing's just as much a part of winning, because if you're afraid of one and you always anticipate the other, you're always going to fall short. The most important thing is to go out there and give everything you have. Everything. And if you do that, then I don't think it really matters. I don't think it really matters.